Good evening, everyone, and hello to my co-host tonight. We have a special guest tonight, but first and foremost, I would like every listeners and viewers on Facebook to know that this is the open forum based here in Las Vegas and with PHLV Radio. We are live streaming and we have 7 links. I will mention that to you so that you won't miss open forum. But first, I would like my guest to relax. We will introduce you later. But right now, I would like to introduce my co-host. First, I have Charlotte Evans.
Hi, everybody.
And I have Dolly De Leon.
Welcome.
And tonight, his first night with us, and he is sitting for Cesar's Elpidio because Cesar was infected with COVID-19. And I think the last word is that he is really doing great. So let's continue our prayers that speedy recovery for Cesar Elpidio. But first of all, I would like to introduce Mitch Losada.
Hey, what's up again?
He is with the Air Force, and he is right now based at Nellis Air Force Base. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, Mitch, for joining us. And last but not least, I have Victoria Tambunting.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you again. It's Monday, and I love our guest tonight. Watch her.
Why don't you introduce her?
Oh,
Say a little something about Jen Lee. Remember, when you say Satay Bistro, you remember the name. So go ahead and introduce her. Every nice thing that you know about this woman.
Okay. Actually, I know a lot of nice things about her. But this is one thing that you will really admire. But actually, the most important thing is she was appointed by President Trump as a commissioner for the White House Initiative on American Asia Pacific Islander.
Yes.
I think she's the one who really gets us all together.
Yes.
I'll tell you, the Asia Pacific Islanders, they're really hard to get together because they're so clannish. But under Janie, she's doing a great job.
They are all together now.
Janie Lowe, yeah.
Okay.
And I love her husband too, okay?
I think that is the Mr. Derek Uehara.
Derek Uehara, so brilliant. And I listened to him on the radio, 7:90 in the morning for Wayne Allen Root. So, well, Janie's the owner of Satay Thai Bistro. Really excellent food. But more than that, she brings people together. People of all walks of life. And, well, mostly Republicans too. But actually, everybody's welcome there. All right.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, so let me introduce this beautiful, beautiful woman. Beautiful inside and out. And I mean it. Okay, I love you, Janie. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Janie Lowe.
Oh, Victoria, thank you, sweetie. Wow, what an introduction. Well, that's because Victoria takes pictures and she knows how to make us look great, even though we're not that great sometimes, right? So, thank you.
All right. So,
right off the bat, I have to ask, is it the Satay restaurant that's been in town since like 1990 and it's on Spring Mountain?
Thank you for that question, Charlotte. We started, in 2005 in the Spring Mountain Road. Okay. Then we actually moved over to the Paradise where we're at. So we were planning on having a big bash, the 15th year anniversary this May. But of course, COVID hit. And so you know what? It's okay. We'll fast forward and we'll celebrate again next year. How's that?
We love your restaurant. I hope you can hang in there.
Absolutely. Thank you. No, you know what? With great supporters like all of you, the local supports, we love our AAPI community. And you know what? We just love our Las Vegas community, right? And it really, really helps because, every to-go orders, it makes a huge difference. So thank you.
Okay. Before we get out of the topic of satay, I just wanted to tell everybody because usually it's big orders, right? But then I go there, even if I'm just one person, I used to eat there alone or I take it home. So they have $10 lunches and it's really delicious. Yeah. All the meat is there. It's really a big portion. It's just $10 lunch. I think people who work or who are nearby can take advantage of that. So go to Satay Thai Bistro. It's along Paradise Road.
Oh, that's $1 million advertising for Jenny.
Perfect.
I know, girl. I'm gonna have all of you over. You know, you can do that
From
again
now
next week.
on, Victoria will have free lunches over there for that
All right,
advertising.
yeah, whatever. Okay.
Yes.
You know, Jan, as a commissioner appointed by President Trump, I gather that you are in charge of the welfare of our community, beginning with health, education, and economic status of Nevada. How do you perform your duty? Let's say in the topic of health, do you connect with the Department of Health and talk to the higher ups there and listen to your problems or issues that you are having?
You know, that's a very good question. Thanks for asking that, Josie. You know, there are 14 of us commissioners that were appointed by President Donald J. Trump. And basically our role is, I like to put it this way, you know, it's that we're the liaison. There's a lot of government programs that people are not aware of, especially right now. You know, you only hear about SBA now because of the PPPs, right? But SBA also have women loans. They have a lot of other loans and other things and programs and grants that people don't know and not aware of. And basically for us commissioners, our job is to take what the government, you know, what's already available, and for us to share it to our community to say, hey, did you know that we actually have all these great programs, and break it down to everyday language, right? I don't work for the government, just so you all know, right? This is an appointed position. We're not paid. We are basically working with everyone. So granted, I'm the only one that is appointed in Nevada, in the state of Nevada, but I'll tell you, every day I speak with folks, you know, in Minnesota, in California, Washington State, up to Guam. So anywhere that anybody has questions, whether or not it's health, you know, economy, racism, we will listen, and then we will make sure that we direct them to the right department that can resolve or help them with the issues. Right, Josie? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say, oh, I know all the answers. I don't. But you know what? I will connect. I'll find out who they are, and I'll connect the resources and get answers to you.
Well, that's been the saying in every aspect of life and existence. You know, if you know who to ask and you know where to go, you got it. So you
absolutely. And people go, oh, you must be in DC all the time. Not true. You know, we go out there if we need to. And in fact, this month we have the open meeting, and I hope all of you will attend that meeting via the Zoom, right? Because when you participate, you get to learn, you get to network, and it's just amazing that, you know, I'm meeting a lot of people, great heroes, and all of you, right, Josie? For me to be on this radio show, I'm like, we know each other, but we never really talk about policies and issues, right? But this opens doors, and I hope that we can continue to do that, whether or not, you know, our commission stop or not. But I'll tell you, amazing folks everywhere, and our AAPIs, we are a force, right?
Yes.
Especially Phil M. I want to say this October is Filipino American History Month, right?
Yes.
So we're celebrating, and we will be celebrating next week at the White House as well. And I'll share those information with you and the listeners and viewers. Okay.
So you keep yourself on call almost 24 hours a day. You're not being paid, but you're a liaison to help anybody, no matter what their party, to get information that can help them survive through the pandemic and whatever else they might need.
Charlotte, you're right on, right? Regardless of the party. I know, you know, we are obviously Republicans because we're appointed by the president, right? But I'll tell you, every day I answer and assist more Democrats and nonpartisans than the Republicans, because, you know, our Republicans, they know where to find the answers. We pretty much know, and not saying that Democrats don't, but, you know, right now there's so many issues and everything else that this is truly our commission. It's truly a nonpartisan thing. And, you know, we even help these outside of AAPIs, right? But we do specialize in the Asian American Pacific Islanders, that's for sure.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just going to say, I just noticed, just saying, that the Hispanics know how to use the system, but the Asians, they don't, not much. But Hispanics, oh, they know everything. They're amazing. So we should follow them.
You know, I think I have a comment on that, Jen. It's
Go
not
ahead, Josie.
the Asian, no. Well, I don't know how you group them Asian. Well, I'm an Asian, I'm a American or whatever. But anyways, I think I'll be speaking on behalf of Filipinos. I think the Filipinos, we are just too proud sometimes. You know, even though we need a certain help, because of that proud mentality that we have and attitude, we much rather not ask, even though in as much that we needed that help because of our pride. That's the only thing I could say about that. Not that we don't know the circling around of the programs and what have you, but Filipinos are too proud, and that's what I want to say.
You know,
All
Josie,
right.
I would agree with that. I think maybe the word is, you know, in Chinese culture, we call them save face, right? Oh, you know, you got to save your face. That's literal translation. But I think it's not just that. I think, you know, our APIs were brought up by our parents, right, that don't ask for things, you know, don't let people know that you're poor, you know, you don't want to feel that, you know, even though, you know, we recycle all the plastic bags and, you know, the tissues, right? But that's the fun part, right? I mean, I'll tell you, when I go to Starbucks and McDonald's, I don't just take one napkin, I take a stash, right? Because I put them in the dashboard because it's in case. And you know what? I pass it on to my 19-year-old son, who knows that when he goes to this fast food, he grabbed those napkins, right? Even though that's a trait, but that's a loving API trait, so we laugh about. But when it comes in terms of the government programs, you know, Victoria, right on, right? There's so many grants and stuff available for the APIs, even the PPPs, right? The Paycheck Protection Program that was offered by SBA. Not a lot of the APIs take advantage of it because you know why? They do require you to provide financial information. So what does that mean? Privacy. Heck no, I'm not going to share my stuff with you all, right?
Exactly.
Who's going to see it? I don't want you to know that I'm hard up for, you know, but understand that this is a grant. That means you don't have to pay it back. And you can still have, you know, run your business. And, you know, we did it. You know, I'll tell you, it was very, it's a different mentality, but we need to get over that because if we don't, we're not going to play. We cannot be the silent majority.
Exactly.
We have to be a little bit louder, vocal. I'm not saying go out there and, you know, create havoc, right? Respectfully, we just got to know how to bring issues to, you know, to the table and start talking about it. And that's why I love the fact that you have this, you know, platform for us to talk about it, right?
Yes,
So,
definitely.
yes.
API, if anyone doesn't know, like me, I'm assuming it's American Filipino.
Close. So AAPI is Asian Americans Pacific
Islander.
Islanders.
Yes,
So
yes. We got to
API.
remember our Pacific Islanders. Yes. Or a lot of folks do, what is it, APA as well too, right? Right, Mitch? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Asian Pacific Americans.
Yes.
Asian
Thanks,
Pacific.
Dolly. Yep. So that's what it is. Yeah.
You
it's
mentioned the
open-
silent majority. Since you've been promoted to this task force, I guess it is to help get the word out on what's available for struggling businesses, anybody who might need grants. Have you found, since you've been out there a little bit more in public, that there's more conservatives in Nevada than you thought?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, and Filipinos for that matter, right? I know this past Sunday, was it yesterday? You know, we had the Filipino Americans for Trump rally, right? Run by
I was there.
Raul Sabino, thanks, Dolly, and the Praise Warriors. They're amazing. I love it because you know what? A lot of our Asian values are very much similar to the conservative values, right? I mean, Mitch is nodding his head, right? I said, family values, yes. Are you for education? Heck yes, right? And then security, right? Law and order, absolutely. Are you kidding me, right?
Yes.
So those are
And
three.
God.
Yes, those and God, right? And so those are the the issues that we are very, very passionate about. And in fact, that's why, Josie, you and I chatted. That's why we created the AAPI, Nevada Leadership Council. So this consists of all these grassroots, I want to call them community leaders, business owners, that has been here in Nevada that we really, really care. We actually came up with a list of endorsements of candidates like judges, as well as city council, commission, that values 3 things, okay? Again, I'll mention it, is education, economy, strong economy, and law and order. So there are a bunch of issues we can talk about, but those are the 3 top ones, and of course God too, Charlotte, but we just want to keep it the 3 focus issues, because why is it so important? Because elections have consequences. If you don't like the things and the laws that are passed, get involved, because if you don't, guess what? It's going to happen to you. I know folks ask me, so when did you get involved with politics? And I'll tell you the truth. I did not get involved, and my husband did not get actively involved with politics until President Donald J. Trump, right?
I just want to share my heading in Twitter: love for God, for family, and for country. And I heard that from Mitch, and I used that heading since 2011, before our president, announced his candidacy in 2015. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's beautiful, Dolly. Yeah, I'll tell you, my husband, I know, thank you. You all mentioned Derek Uehara. He was more involved. In fact, he was a spokesperson. He was for the Trump-Pence Advisory Council before Trump was even a nominee, right? So why does this president resonate with us? Because he's a businessman. He's your everyday man, and he is not the swamp, right? What does that mean when people say, what's the swamp? Well, I know I'm going to offend some folks. If you're going to be in this position for 47 years, and then now you're going to come back and say, you know what? I'm going to do something. Really, I will this time. When did you do
it? Sounds like Joe Biden.
Right? And, so this president does believe in term limits. And I'll tell you, I do too. And my husband and I would joke about it. We're like, you know what? Technically for this presidency, we should just have it for 6 years versus 4 years. 6 years, and no, you cannot run for re-election. You know why? Because if you have 6 years, there's a sense of urgency. You're going to do it. You're not going to spend in the second, because right now our president is running for a campaign. He should, so it's like people have that mentality. And that's what I said, you know what? We have a time here. There's a sense of urgency. And if you work for corporations or private business, if you run that into bankruptcy, you'd be fired, right? There's no chance. There's no second chance, So that's why this president for us, it resonates, because he speaks like a true, leader. And I know people say, how can he is? Trust me.
Can I
and
ask a
Mike,
question?
Go ahead.
So going back into talking about getting people involved, I know you said you have like a 19-year-old, and you talked about, and reading your bio, like a Chinese New Year in the desert, I believe.
Yes.
And so what do you feel about people, young Gen Z, millennials, still carrying traditions? I think that is something that's big within the Asian community versus like other ethnicities. Like we carry on our traditions and customs, whether you're Malaysian, Chinese, Filipino, Korean. I think that's a big part of it. And so like myself, I haven't been politically active until 2018, if not this year. So do you see a lot of the young people getting involved because of the climate of things? Is that something that you're seeing?
Absolutely, Mitch. To me, I always say, parenting starts from home, right? And it's because of the core values that you have. I think a lot of people mistaken. They want President Donald J. Trump to be their father figure. It's not happening, because the job description of a president is a leader that protects the country. And the country that we know is called United States, okay? So it's not China, it's not Russia, it's the president of the United States. And I'll share this because we migrated as a family. We came here when I was 8 years old from Malaysia. We gave out our citizenship over there to become, and because we wanted to chase after that American dream, right? So yes, we learned the language. I'll tell you, I do not speak a lick of English, but thanks to the ESL, English as Second Language classes that is offered in public schools, we utilize it. That was an opportunity that was given to us, but we have to take it. We have to appreciate it. We can't, I mean, there's no way in heck that I would dare to fly my Malaysian flag in this beautiful country of the United States. Why? Because it's out of respect for America.
Exactly.
Now, right, Josie? You know,
Exactly.
So that's why I don't understand that. And I know even with the first debate, it really bothered me that there was no American flag present at all for a presidential debate, for crying out loud, right? Because for some reason, now this beautiful flag, red, white, and blue, right, is now stands for white supremacist. It makes no sense, right? Yeah. So I think we need to just come back, calm it down, maybe turn off the social media, the CNN, the Fox News, whatever it is. Take a breath, right? And say, you know what? I am so blessed that my family was given the opportunity to come to this beautiful country that, my goodness, this brown girl has an opportunity to be, you know, invited to the Oval Office, meet the wonderful President Donald J. Trump. And he actually thanked us. He said, thank you. He actually, you know, when we were getting sworn in as commissioner, Josie, I'll tell you, is really neat because he's looking at us and he's like, you guys are doing well. You don't need me. You make me look good, right? Because the unemployment rate was the lowest, you know, the family, the crime rate, all that stuff is wonderful, right? And he's like, what do you want me to do? You're already doing it. You know, it was so real. And it was very, very touching, right? But of course, we all took our pictures, shake his hands, and then go on our way. But what I hope to relay to all of you today is that this president, you know, he gives up his salary. The media never talks about it, right?
Yeah.
So they want to talk about releasing of his taxes. Hello, if he really did commit a crime, then lock him up, right? But he utilized the rules of laws that is, by the way, made by somebody who's in office for 47 years, right?
Exactly.
So he took advantage of that. Just like all of his business, you know, the write-off, whatever it is. So follow the rules, the guidelines, but let's not talk about, you know, how he is, you know, ripping us off. He's not paying his own share, you know. So to me, it's just, those are all victim mentality. And I'm sorry, you know what? I don't want to be a victim. I want to be an owner. I own this life. With God's help, we're here. And that, you know, I'm living the dream, and I hope you all are living the dream.
Yes,
right.
Janie,
we're victors, not victims.
Janie, as a AAPI commissioner that is appointed, how do you reach out to the entire Asian American community? Do you have some kind of report to make after you meet with them, or I don't want to say, oh, it's just a name, but, you know, nothing is done. I just want to know how you function, how you reach out to the AAPI community.
Thanks for asking that, Dolly. You know, we do a lot of webinars and Zoom call. In fact, I was just on one last Friday on the women entrepreneurship, and that was introducing programs with the SBA as well too. So I encourage all of you, if you haven't subscribed to it yet, it's called White House Initiatives on AAPIs. It's on Facebook, Twitter. In fact, you know, I'll email you so you can share it. I am a resource, and I'll tell you, you know, this phone of mine, it does not stop. And, you know, I always get texts from folks, and it's not just Nevada. In fact, I feel like I'm not serving my Nevadans, right? So thank you, Josie, for having me here. Please reach out to me. I'll tell you, folks from California calls me more than anything else, Washington, D.C., Washington State. You know, Dolly, I've actually have the pleasure of just helping somebody with a business plan, right? and who's opening up a restaurant in November, you know. So I'm excited about that. Anybody that we can help just one at a time, that touches my heart. It's not about the title. In fact, nobody cares. You know, they're like, what is that? Is it WIAPI, WIAPI? What is it anyway, you know? So to me, I always say, you know, just call me up. If I don't know the answer, I'll get you the answer, right?
That's right.
So, but you have to participate. Yes, Victoria.
Jenny, I have a question. Yeah. So this one is just off the field. This question you may or may not answer. I was wondering, out of the 14 commissioners, how come there is no Filipino there? So, okay.
There are Filipino. Pastor Herman Matier.
In the 14?
Texas, yes.
Yeah,
what state? What
Texas,
state?
Texas.
I'm from Texas. Okay. No, because I was thinking, in the last one, there was Rosita Lee. Manang
That's in
Rosita.
the Democrat Party.
So Obama
That's
administration.
administration.
Yes.
I'm thinking, is it because most of the Filipino leaders here are Democrats? Is that why they were appointed? So like I said,
Yeah.
it's
So,
off
you
field.
know, it's politics, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, for in order to get appointed as a commissioner, like everything else, you have to be active. You got to do all this stuff. And I'll tell you, I am blessed to be chosen for this representing the state of Nevada is because, again, going back, right? Actually, it should have been Derek, to be very honest, very blunt. But he was running for state treasurer. And due to this Hatch Act, they couldn't do it. And so Derek's like, you know what? If I can't do it, my wife can do it. So we submitted. But we basically worked for the campaign, represented the AAPI, you know, do a lot of the hard work that's behind the scene. Okay. Because, you know, nowadays, I know with social media, if you didn't take a picture, it didn't happen. Not true. Okay. A lot of things happen, you know, that we don't publish, you know, taking pictures. So it's not about that, right? But to answer your question, Victoria, we actually have Rudy Pamintuan. He is a former chairman under the President Bush. He's a Filipino. So so when you look at the whole commission, we try, you know, obviously you do
balance it.
You balance it. But I'll tell you, it doesn't matter what your background is. I'll tell you, I don't think I've helped Chinese yet, right? But I've helped more of the Hmong community, Vietnamese community, as well as the Filipino community right now. So, so thank you for asking that. But we do have Pastor Herman, who is, I'll make sure he reach out to you.
All right. Yeah, he better.
Yes, he's awesome.
All right.
So you better run for commissioner or submit your name, Mitz, Dali, Vicky. Okay, we will support you.
Okay.
Yes.
Josie, I noticed that we have a lot of people here in Facebook. Let me just say hi to Nadine Cutter. Nadine Cutter is running for judge, Department T. Hi, Nadine. Beautiful Nadine. Don't forget to vote for her. Judge Nadine Cutter. And I see the most handsome lawyer here. His name is Steve Mason. He's also watching. So, and Robin Santos, the best singer in town. So, hi, Robin. Thanks for watching. Josie, who do you have there?
Well, I'm still getting there. So the others, go ahead and check your.
Because it's live. Everything. This is live on Facebook.
It's live. It's
Miss Marianne is saying hello to Miss Jen Ko. So is that you,
Jen.
Jenny? Yes.
No.
And
Jen Ko.
and she said, "Have a nice evening and always
Jen.
stay safe." Same to you, Marianne. Thank you.
Is it morning time right now in the Philippines?
Yes.
So the folks who are watching us live in the Philippines, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock there?
9 o'clock, something like that. 9 o'clock, yeah. So I have Gidget de Guzman. I don't know if you have that on yours, but I have Gidget de Guzman saying hi, and I'm watching. Well, of course you are. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know,
I'm watching. What are they watching, Josie?
You're watching you.
Well, we have William Rutherford. We have Gidget.
Hi, William.
Yes. Who's this? Christy Sampal.
Oh, Christy, she's
Joe
a nurse.
Angie Credo. Jen
She's in
Ko
the
was the very
Filipinos.
first one.
Okay.
Who's top fan? So far those are the ones I see. But thank you for
Okay.
watching, guys.
Thank you for watching us. Yeah.
All right.
Let's be back with Jen. And Jen, I have one more question. If a business owner would like a loan for their business, of course, and have you, with the statistics that you know or have helped before, have we really disapproved any of them? And can you share a particular reason why?
Well, I think here's the truth of it, right? Like when you start a business, a lot of folks don't understand the importance of having a business plan. A business plan is basically what your mission, here's my dream, I'm gonna have all this stuff. But yet you gotta go, what else? You gotta have payroll, you gotta rent, and how many turns, and I'll share this as a restaurant because, us AAPIs, we love our food, right? And opening restaurants is like the dream, right? Because we love to eat and we love to drink and family and party. So it's not really work, it's actually fun, right? But they have to understand a business plan really narrows you down. You got to concentrate. You got to go, how many rounds, how many meals per ticket do I need in order to break even, right? That's why the opening restaurants, I tell you, we were crazy. We were crazy to open it, just like any APIs, right? But the first year was a struggle, but we made it. So to answer your questions about the loans, you need to have a business plan before you sit down and talk to even a loan officer or SBA officer. You need to have a plan, right?
Yes.
Because you just can't talk. You actually have to put it down in writing, black and white, right?
Yes.
And then they got to go through it. And it's like you're a CEO of a company, just think of that. Now, whether or not you're going to get approved or not, Josie, I'll tell you, with the SBA startup loan of $50,000, with very little interest, there are so many programs out there that it's, chances are, I don't have the statistics because I don't work for SBA, but I'll tell you, those that, if you have all your information ready to go, chances of you will get approved because
Actually, SBA
Right.
has a bridge loan of $25,000. It could be done in
Right.
2 days.
There you go.
Yeah,
right?
I went through that. Number one is a business plan. That's first and foremost before you can even sit down with a loan officer, especially SBA. The best place to go would be SBA.
Agreed. And
Now,
then we also have business.
It's
Go
so
ahead,
nice
Josie.
that you've actually helped people do business plans who've never done them before. How optimistic are you that the restaurateurs in Las Vegas who've been struggling for 6 months, how optimistic are you that we will rebound in this town as opposed to in other cities where some restaurants they think will never reopen again?
You know what, Charlotte, I'll tell you, I have seen, Ricardo's, right? Those it's not an API store, but it is a Mexican restaurant. They
Yeah.
shut it down, right?
Sushi
So there's a
Mall.
lot of those that you will never see again,
Oh.
shutting it down. I don't know the answer, to be very honest with you, Charlotte, because I know with our governor's, restrictions.
That's really sad.
It is, and we have challenges, but I'll tell you, take advantage of the grants. There are so many of them out there. On top of the SBA, there's also the Clark County loans. There's also the GOEDS, economic development. Also have the landlord, the tenant, the 10 grand that you can apply for. So those are the resources that, fortunate for me, I'm able to get them because you know what? We get emails. We're always in there just talking to folks, right? I'll tell you, I'm not the smartest person in this state, but guess what? I surround myself with friends like Josie, Victoria, and Dolly, right? And Mitch, of course, and then now you, Charlotte, right? So when we talk, you're like, oh my God, really? That happens? So the tendency for me is using social media. I love that, right? We also have the Nevada Small Business Council, which my husband and I started. It is we don't charge for membership. There's no membership, but whatever resources, information that we have, we just put it out there. We partner with the National Asian Chamber of Commerce and Entrepreneurship out of Washington, D.C. And I'll tell you, that just opened doors because, they're out there, they have updates on legislation. And anything that is out there, I'm optimistic that we can rebound like everything else we do, Charlotte. That is why we're Americans, right? Like a roller coaster, whatever goes up will come down, but guess what? We will try our way to go up again. But I'll be very honest, it's going to be tough for us, especially with the tourism, right? But, 2021 is going to be tough with all the CES, all the big conventions are canceled, but hopefully they'll come back again in June, July, But again, we're not going to come back 100%. We'll probably come back at 50% if that, but 2022, we'll be ready, So
when
we gotta hang in there.
You mentioned about a plan for the business. Does that include, like projected income?
Yes.
So
Yes,
that is
ma'am.
all incorporated in that
Yeah,
plan.
and P&Ls, right? Oh my God, those profit and losses statements.
Yeah,
and all
I
that.
got
Yes.
one more question, Jan.
Yes,
With the Lions, we also can get grants, but
ma'am.
the condition with the Lion is that you show me first that you have 25,000 and I will match you with 25,000. Now in this scenario, is that the same thing?
No,
No.
No,
Okay.
I think it's different. There's so many different programs out
Okay.
there, Josie. Yeah. And I know for the PPPs under SBA is more the for profit for companies, but I know they also extend it for 501c3s, right? So the truth is, the fact is, right? They're going to give you some money, but you got to earn it. You got to go find it. You got to do the hard work, right? And those application process, they do take time. But I'll tell you, spend the time. I mean, no one's giving out free money right now, but if the grants are out there, do it. And if you don't know how to do it, call me. Okay.
There you
I'll
go.
walk you through it. Yes.
Janie,
Yes, Dolly.
politics. What do you think made Planned Parenthood obtain $80 million from this moratorium, from this stimulus? How in the world they got 80 million? Planned Parenthood,
Oh, you mean
part of
Parenthood?
part of the program.
I don't know how to answer that, Dolly, and I'm not gonna. You know what? For me, I don't like to talk about things that I don't know. But you know what? The grants, when this program came out, everybody have the rules and the guidelines is there, right? I know there's Shake Shack and all the big ones, they apply. Because when the SBA defines small businesses, it's very different than you and I think about, right? To me, a small business is like 10 and under, right? 20, but it's not. So it's just like going back to Donald Trump, right? His taxes, his income tax. Guess what? It's there. He took advantage of it, and because you're sharp enough to look at it. But to answer about the Planned Parenthood, I don't know what the reasons are. But I think instead of us complaining about what the other side has and all these other things, I think I'd like to focus on how can we use our energy to what can we get, right? And because there's a lot of things that are out there for the AAPI community that still haven't been tapped into. So let's focus on what we have control over, because I don't know what Planned Parenthood or what all these people are doing, but I know what I'm doing for my business and my AAPI community.
Good for you. Good for you.
And now-
Do you agree with it though? I mean, do you think it is something that they deserve? It's just a yes or no?
That's hard to answer, Dolly.
Dolly, I don't know what, to be honest, I don't know what they got or what they didn't have, so I'm sorry, I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
That's
it is.
fine. That's good.
Jane,
Thank
one
you.
more time, what is the website people can go to or the email people can go to if they want to contact you? Because you obviously have been so willing to be helpful. I want to get that information out one more
Of
time.
course, Facebook wise, I would say like and follow. It's called White House Initiative on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. I know it's a long one, but if you start typing, it will find you, okay? And if you want to find me, I'm Janie, JAN-IELOW. You can follow me, you can look at my face timeline, and we post out information as much as possible. The other resource is Nevada Small Business Council is another one. And those are more the business oriented. But you know what? I welcome email. So you can email me, Charlotte, at Janie, Janie, at whitehouseaapi.com.
Thank you.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay,
Oh.
so it's
Wait a
the
minute,
third-
Vicky. I just want to read. This person is always watching us and having comments on our Facebook page. Miles de la Cruz, you know, she is from New York. She's the mother of Tammy Cruz. She said, "Hi, Tita Josie. Good evening, everyone." Good evening, Miles.
Good evening.
Thank you for watching. Okay, so what I was gonna say was, I'm gonna give the floor to the baby of the group, bitch. Okay, your turn.
Good decision.
Yeah. So since you're highly involved in everything, I want to see if you do you follow a lot of things on YouTube? I'm the YouTuber of the group. So, and I only ask that because one big thing that I follow or trying to promote is the Walk Awaysian. So amplifying the walk away movement. So I don't know if you heard, since you're very involved in the API community, do you see young conservatives, even or Democrats, talking about these topics? You know, like, is there anything that you're following on YouTube? Or do I have a good market here? Do I have a good business plan that I'm marketing myself with no one's touching on this niche?
You know what, Mitch, you and I got to go offline and talk. Absolutely.
Awesome.
In fact, you know, my husband and I, Derek and I, we're heading out to Walnut, California. Is it next October 17th? It's a program that is Blexit, right?
Oh.
And yeah, so it is a walk away, and we've asked to be guest speakers. It's kind of cool, you know. But I think, again, you know, Mitch, there are so many folks that are just, because of the values. At the end of the day, they are proud Americans, right? And you do see a lot of them just frustrated about, you know, because I'll be very honest, in the young generation, they go, we're not victims. Nobody's doing this to us, right? So, but you know, so they're making their own social media and just showcasing all the greatness of this beautiful country, right? So, and I love it. I love following that. I wish I am more into, following, but I'm not very tech savvy. So I am the Facebook stage, but I love to, let's talk offline. Love to see what you're doing with the YouTube.
Yeah, most definitely. Sounds good.
Mitch, can I ask you real quick?
That, I couldn't be with you next week because I am planning to go to California this coming weekend. But too bad our time couldn't match up. But just on that note, have you seen a lot of things on California? There's everyone out throughout California, they're doing their truck rallies for Trump, and I'm following it on Facebook. It's something great. I don't know if you follow it, but I just recently found a group that all throughout California, whether it's Walnut, San Diego, Modesto, whatever city, there's a truck rally happening almost every weekend. And I'm glad that Filipinos are doing it and all these other people who are supporting it. Hopefully California can become red again. So we'll see.
Mitch, since you are the youngest one out of our group, I'm fascinated to ask you, have you seen an arc of interest in conservatism with young people? It seems like a couple years ago, nobody who was young identified as conservative. Is that changing a little bit?
So I do follow a lot of Steven Crowder, right? And Tim Pool. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with these names, but they are doing a lot of statistics that a lot of the young Gen Z are leaning more conservative. I guess it's the backlash as far as social media, in which things there's with the availability of the internet, like people can see, hey, that's not whatever the mainstream media is saying, that's not true, and they're questioning the stuff. Obviously there's people who are quote unquote indoctrinated through academia, but there's still a good amount of people who is starting to question the narrative. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people, young generation, Gen Z, young millennials, who are starting to lean conservatively. So it's a hopeful, but
great for you with being behind Walk Awaysian. I think that's awesome. There's Walk Awaysian, Blexit. There's so many great groups that are really getting excellent messages out there.
Yeah.
I just want to throw in again something, an explanation as to why these millennials are now coming out and being brave, to be honest with you. If you think about it, especially I'm speaking for Filipinos, when they come here, they want their past to be off limits. They don't want you to know how their mother got married, how their mother came to the United States. They don't want you to know their financial status and all of that. It's all hush hush. But you see, now it's getting to be different. These young kids are learning that, hey, I have the right, I have the freedom, and I don't care where I came from, and I don't care what's my history. That's my history, and that's it. Either you take it or not, but that's me. You can never remove that from me. That's why there's a lot of Filipinos and a lot of Asian are coming out now. They're not scared anymore. Not like Filipinos.
I also have a point with that. I think it's also conservatism it's counterculture now. It's mainstream to be democratic. It's mainstream to be a default Democrat, and you have to fall in line. But young people always been rebellious, and how do you rebel? Is you rebel against the mainstream, and really it's conservatism that's the counterculture now. It's cool, and actually humor. Like the left hates humor, right? The left is always offended about everything, so you're never gonna have fun on the left, right? And so it's the right that's actually having fun and having a good time, drinking, like talking, like in good fun, And I think that's another portion why a lot of young people are starting to lean right, because the left is no more fun anymore. Like back in the 90s, sure, the Democrats had it, but now it's switched, the fun side is a conservative side. So
that's good.
It's not the silent majority anymore.
Yes. And Josie, I think we should do a skit on like conservative, you know what I mean, with your son, right? Because there's so many, you do not know how many times my mom would be like, what are you doing with politics? Why are you doing that? But yes, I think it is now cool, Mitch, right? I mean, but I think, what the truth is, we AAPIs, we read about things. We just don't take what's posted on, whatever they say. You're like, not true. I don't know about you. If the commercials now are all coming out with all the campaign hits, right? They were put on something recently. They were doing something on April Becker. I'm like, no, that's a lie, right? But you know what it is because unfortunately, Nicole and the current assembly, she has a lot of money, right? The money is all padded with all these, who knows, PACs and stuff. But I'll tell you, what's important, and I want to go back to politics, Dolly will be happy about this. Please, and you know what? We do have endorsements out there, very conservative endorsements. There are a couple of Democrats with conservative values, but I want to emphasize that this is a very important election for us locally, right? Because you know why? Everything starts with local politics, and if we vote the wrong people in, my gosh, there goes our public safety, defunding the police, right? Education. Listen, we are already the dumbest state, right? We can't get any dumber. But if we get all these people in, there's no way in heck we can come back, right?
That's true about the super majority. If the Democrats, they're so close to getting a super majority in our legislature, and if that happens, we will never be a red state again.
Right. So I encourage you, my girl, April Becker, Carrie Ann Buck, right? Just read up on those two amazing ladies. And I say this is because it is time of the ladies, right? But if anybody have questions about any of the candidates, please, you know what? Voting is a privilege.
Hey, Jen, bring them here. Bring them here. Come back and bring them. Just pull their hands.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I will. You're going to talk to Dan Roldimer later, right?
Yes.
Josie?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for Vicky for inviting him. Maybe you can join us again with him together. There you go. We don't
Absolutely.
Need to
I'll bring all the candidates, darn it.
Yeah.
We should get Jim Marchant on too.
There's not much time.
Jim Marchant.
Oh, Jim.
Then get him.
Okay.
Get him, Charlotte.
Tell me what day.
Get him for next Monday together with Dan Roldimer.
Yeah, just bring them in and we will make time.
Okay, I'll see if they're available. I can try to get them available.
Exactly.
Okay, last few words. I just wanted to say I've spoken to a lot of millennials, and their default is they're Democrat. Okay, that's their default because they're modern and they're all that stuff. They're free. They believe in themselves only. That's their default. But then little by little, they were telling me they realized that when they were looking at their core values, they are conservative. They're really not.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that's what I noticed. That's why I was thinking maybe Mitch, you can make a questionnaire, just a 5-question questionnaire, like the Alcoholics Anonymous. People don't think, oh, I'm not alcoholic. Okay, wait till you answer the question.
That's actually a video I'm planning to do.
Yeah.
So they are called dinos, Democrats in name only.
So if you make one, something like, do you think you are conservative or liberal? And just a simple 5-question. You're gonna do that, right, Mitch?
Yeah, that's actually a video I was planning to do. Because I have a video,
Awesome.
should Filipinos leave the Democrats, right? And so I want to, instead of saying something so overt, because they'll probably say, like if I said, if you're liberal or conservative, obviously they're going to answer it the way they want to. But if I angle it in which, what are your core values? And if they say God, if they say family, if they say job security and education, and then I'm going to point to them, that's all conservative.
Exactly.
And they'll hopefully they'll start questioning, like, do I really want free education? It sounds nice, right? But at the same time, do you want to pay for someone else's education? And so there's a caveat to all those things. And so I think that's a great point, and that's actually something I'm looking to do. So hopefully we can get there. So
Okay, we got 7 minutes to go. So I will allocate 1 minute per person. Please be cognizant of your time. We have only 7 minutes. We will start with you, Charlotte.
Oh my goodness. Okay, really quickly, if you live in the Las Vegas Valley, back in the first anniversary of October 1st, so that would have been October 1st, 2018, this cloud formation was visible all over the Las Vegas Valley while the ceremony was going on for the people who died.
Oh,
The clouds literally formed, and you could see this from Summerlin all the way down to Henderson. So I just thought that was something inspirational that's worth revisiting. Amazing things happen, and
Charlotte, I have a question. What do you think that cloud formation looked like? It looked like an angel to me with a trumpet.
hurry up, Charlotte. You got 1 minute. Go ahead, Vicky. Your turn.
go ahead.
Okay, answer me. You can take my time. Come on,
Hurry up,
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Say an angel. An
But I
angel,
do
and you're
believe
done.
there are signs. I mean, if you think if there's a burning bush, how many people can see that, right?
Ah, look
How
at
many
that.
people were able to see this in the sky?
Okay,
Yeah.
Vicky,
I
it's your
just think
turn.
there are
Go.
signs, and I think
Nice. Okay,
Okay.
don't forget to register to vote. You can start voting. Okay. Oh, Janie, you're gonna
Yes.
say something about voting in person and
Yes, please.
okay,
Okay,
you do it.
let's go ahead and go to Mitch. Mitch, hurry up. Just your last word.
just
Hurry
real
up.
quick, I want to promote my YouTube just because it is important to get the young people to vote, because obviously, like everyone has mentioned, they are default Democrat, and I really want to change their vote with Walkawation, Filipino Exit, Filipino Flexit, Asian Exit, Accent, and all that. So follow me at my YouTube at Mitch Lozada, MITCH, last name Lozada, LOZADA. Thanks.
Okay, Dali, go ahead.
Well, first of all, Janie, thank you for being with us this evening. And we really enjoyed being with you and all the information that has come from you. And I just praise the Lord for having our president be out of the hospital. Thank God for it. And God bless you all.
And because I am the host, I have 2 minutes. You guys only have 1 minute. No, I have a real fast question, and I would like to direct it to Jen. Maybe Jen, you can help me. Really, this is a dilemma for me right now. I just bought a new house. I came from Panorama Cliff, the same area, Summerlin, but I am in a new address. Will that in any way affect my voting privilege? Do I have to register or
That's a
whatever?
No. Yep.
Well, you have to change your address, Josie. Just make sure you do that. Have you done that yet with the, and you can do this online. I'll give it to you. It's www.registertovotnv.gov. So again, www.registertovoteenvy.gov, okay? Because you need to change it, because guess what? They're mailing out all the ballots regardless, where you live. So they're going to send your ballot to your old address, which if it doesn't get forwarded, somebody else may tap into that voting.
But
okay?
you see, I still have my old address. I haven't sold the house.
Okay, well, that's fine. So it's up to you.
Maybe I can
keep
just leave it.
Yeah, just
Yes,
leave it.
just leave it for now until after, okay? But my point is, to Victoria's point, please, please, please vote in person, okay? Take whatever, give yourself plenty of time. There's early voting that starts October 17th, okay? So
October
please do
30th.
that. Yep, 17th to the 30th, all right? Those are early voting. But if you're not registered to vote yet, please register ASAP and do it online. And I know there's a lot of voters registration that you can see in Seafood City, which they were great, right? But guess what? Those you got to mail in, and the deadline is tomorrow. And with our great system, not knock on it, don't mail it, because you can do it faster online. And that's what I would encourage everybody to do it. Vote in person, please.
And Jen, if you are registered already, you have been registered as a Republican, you don't have to register, right? You're there.
Correct. Yes, you don't.
Okay, so
But again, you know what, Joseph, what I would do is still go log in, just make sure all the information
You're still there.
updated, right? So there's no doubt, no question about it. So
Okay,
yes.
great. Keep going, Jen. You have another minute.
You know what? I love you all. This is so fun. I love this group. Thank you so much for having me. Like Dolly said, today, this evening, we have our President Trump that was released from the hospital. Please pray for him. This man works the hardest, right? So yes, please pray for him, his lovely wife, our, everybody in the White House, and all of us, friends, family, because you know what? We're not fighting for, it's not about voting for President Trump. This is voting for us, protecting our rights, our Americanness about us, right?
Yes.
So God bless you all. God bless this beautiful country. And I'm just happy to serve. So please reach out to me. And I'm excited, Mitch. We're going to do YouTube stuff, right?
Yes.
And
we are.
Jen,
Yes,
we are
ma'am.
going to have, how do you pronounce his last name? Radimer?
Godimer.
Yes.
Rodimer.
Right.
Yes, and you know what? Dan just had a baby, so you gotta
really?
congratulate him.
Well,
okay?
listen, Victoria, don't invite anymore on the 12th. Let's invite Jen again, because you are so outspoken Republican. I want you in this program. So are you okay on January 12th?
Girl, you know what?
October.
January 12th. You know what? Josie.
October 12th. Are you available?
You know what? Unfortunately, I have Gene Ho, the photographer in town.
Oh, that's
right. So
right.
we're having a private session for him. But if the program ends early or whatever, I'm happy to do it. But a lot of things are happening, but I'd love to do it the following week, right? It's still happening, right?
Just show up. I don't care. We scram you there. I don't care.
Okay,
Anyways,
so-
what time is your show? What time is the luncheon or dinner?
It's a dinner. It's 6 to 8 at Satay. Gene Ho.
8. Oh, we have a show.
I know. You have a show, so I don't want to compete with your show.
Otherwise, I
okay?
would go. Yeah. So.
I know.
Yeah,
But you know
so-
what? Love your show. Continue the great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
We
much.
love you, Janie.
It's 7 o'clock. Thank you all. Bye, Mitch. I'm glad you're with us.
Let's
Okay,
have
bye.
lunch at Satay Bistro.
Yes.
Dolly.
Yes. That is our next show. Okay, bye. See ya.